All right, so let's move some of this stuff out of the way. I swear to God, I recorded this video. Cannot find it on my hard drive. Cannot find it on my hard drive. So we're doing it again. I love reshooting things for the second or third time. That being said, okay, so here we're talking about the Zoom F3. I'm actually using the Zoom F3 right now. It's connected to my camera. I'm not going to pull it off. Maybe I will pull it off. I'm going to pull it off eventually. But for the beginning of this video, I want to make sure that you guys can hear the audio that's coming out of the Zoom F3. Now, the Zoom F3 is a 32-bit audio interface. That's what it is. It's got two XLR inputs, and you can connect it through 3.5 line connector to your camera. And that's generally how I use it. That being said, I also have the Tascam X6. And I've actually had the Tascam X6 for the entirety of my YouTube channel, and I've been using this. So maybe you're asking yourself, why did he go and buy a Zoom F3? Well, I'm going to answer that. I'm going to give you my user impression of using the Zoom F3. I'm going to compare it a little bit to the Tascam, but there'll be another video that compares both of them. So yeah, the Zoom F3, which I'm using right now, is an amazing little device. It is 32-bit audio float capable. If you don't know what 32-bit audio float audio is, did I say audio twice? It's pretty much just raw audio. It has a high dynamic range. So it doesn't matter if I talk really, really high or really, really low. Can you hear that train in the background? Whenever I film, there's a train or a plane that goes by, or a siren, or drilling or construction. The point is that you can set this at any dB gain, whatever, and you will be able to recover the audio. It doesn't matter how high or how low that audio is. So it's pretty much idiot proof, which would make it the perfect device, right? But the point is that there's different versions of 32-bit audio recorders. And like me, you're probably asking yourself, which version is the right version for you? So hopefully in this video, I'll break it down to you who I think the Zoom F3 is really for, what type of user. And if this falls into your category of usage, then I recommend you pick it up because it's a great little device. But let's get into the pros first. The pros start with the quality. The actual unit is beautiful. It is nice. It's heavy duty. It's made out of metal as far as I'm concerned. Unlike my Tascam X6, which feels like a piece of cheap plastic, it is a tanky. The Zoom F3 is tanky. It's a nice tanky little machine. It has a mounting point on the back and it has a spot for straps. And the display is pretty much protected by like raised edges. So if it fell, it wouldn't crack. It's a tanky little device. Build quality, a 10. 10 out of 10. So if you're rough with your devices, you might want to pick up the Zoom F3 because it's built tough, like a Ford truck. The next thing is the screen. The screen is a tiny little like Game Boy style screen, which is a pro and a con. It's a pro because a simple screen like that is not going to draw a lot of battery life. It just gives you essential information. Now, of course, it has a USB-C input, which you can use for powering the device and data transfer, and they make that very simple. I like that. I like things to be USB-C based because I can just connect it to my iPad or my MacBook or whatever, and I can just pull the files off of it. That's easy. And the last pro is that it's idiot proof. It's an idiot proof device. If you don't know how to use an audio recorder, you've never used an audio recorder, you just flick it on to record, make sure it's connected, monitor the audio for a second, and as long as you hear audio being pumped into your device, you're good. You can fix it in post, and there will be a file on the device that's 32-bit float capable for you to edit. That's it. That's simple. But that's where the problem started with me. The device is too simple. It's too idiot proof. It doesn't give you a lot of controls. As a matter of fact, that screen, it doesn't even show you actual audio levels. It just shows you waveforms that you can zoom in and zoom out to, but it doesn't give you a clear indication of how high your audio is being pumped into. Instead of solid dB numbers or indicators or like a level, it just has that waveform that gets multiplied by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 24, whatever, 82, 128, 256, which measures how much dB is going into the device or how much power you're pumping into the device. And it's not very clear. Right now I have a FET head connected and I have phantom power enabled and I have it on like 2. This is what it sounds like. So because the controls are so simple, and I probably wouldn't have noticed and I wouldn't have cared if I didn't have the Tascam X6, because the Tascam X6 gives you so much control. The Tascam X6 has a huge touchscreen. I mean, it has a decent sized touchscreen that lets you dial in the exact amount of dB that you want. It has a podcast mode, an instrument mode, a manual mode, a vocal mode. It has like everything. It has so many different modes. It gives you lots of control, which is great if you're doing something besides just capturing audio. And I know the Zoom F3 is labeled as a field recorder. I mean, they're all field recorders, but they kind of stripped it down a little too much. Now, this isn't really a con, but the Zoom F3 for the price just comes with 2 XLR ports. While the Tascam X6 has 2 XLR ports, but it also has 2 capsules at the top. So for the price, you're kind of getting a very stripped down basic piece of equipment, the ability to record anything unless you add your own mics. Now that might just be a me thing. Other people might be like, why would I ever want to record on the mic capsules on my device? Like they're crappy. But honestly, if you're in a pinch and you had to have one of these devices with you, it might be better to have the Tash Cam just because it has the built-in capsule. Next thing is that it has no combo jacks. Now I've never been in a situation where I needed combo jacks, but I'd rather have them than not have them. And I don't think it's a space issue. I think they could have made it fit. So yeah, with all that and my months of experience with the Tash Cam and my weeks of experience with the Zoom F3, I think the Zoom F3 is a device for a specific type of user. And that user is somebody who wants to mount that recorder to their cinema camera. That's exactly what it's for. If you want 32-bit audio flow and you want to have XLR inputs, instead of buying the top handle for the Sony FX3 or FX30, like I have an FX30 I'm filming on right now, I would just get this and mount it onto the device. And I would get my XLR inputs. I could power it via V-mount battery if I wanted to, USB-C, whatever, battery bank. And I would plug in whatever XLR mic I wanted. It would be great. This is supposed to be for run and gun people who want to get 32-bit audio flow on a device that can take a beating. That's who it's for. Now, because it's so compact, it lends to its versatility. I personally wanted a device that I can take with me so I can film anywhere. Being in New York City, you never know what's going to happen. You might need to take your gear with you to film something. I filmed a YouTube video at my girlfriend's apartment and I had the 32-bit Zoom F recorder right there with me. It was great because it's so small and compact, especially compared to the Tash Cam. It is mini. It is really mini. That being said though, because they both have two XLR ports, I think it's better to have the Tash Cam because you can have more control over what you're doing. The Zoom F3 doesn't have noise gate. It doesn't have a compressor built in. It doesn't have these EQ features. And if I was doing a mobile podcast or if I was doing any kind of situation where I was recording two people and I wanted to monitor them and get 32-bit flow, I would pick the Tash Cam over the Zoom F3. If I maybe had gotten the Zoom F3 first, like I said, I might not have noticed these little things, but it's very subjective. They're both very capable devices. I just think bang for buck. Can you hear that plane? There's a plane going by. You can't go wrong with either of these devices unless you have a specific need in mind. I might end up selling the Zoom F3. I'm glad I tried it out and keeping my Tascam X6 just because of the controls and versatility of the Tascam X6. So yeah, stay tuned for my video where I compare. Stay tuned for my video where I compare the Tascam X6 and the Zoom F3. And I think I might even throw the DJI mics. I'm actually going to film it like right after this. So I definitely know I will. I'll throw in the DJI mics just to see out of all the audio interfaces I've used this year, which is the best solution. So stay tuned for that.